home affordability is not dead. It's not great, but it's not dead. Hey, I'm Brian. I'm an Indianapolis realtor, helping people buy and sell homes in and around the Indianapolis area. If that's you, drop me a comment or check my show notes because there is a connection down there for how we can get together. One of the major obstacles for people looking to buy a home right now is affordability. That is nationwide. That is not unique to Indianapolis. With the recording of this video, which is taking place at the end of March 2025, homes in Indy are selling around $300,000. In fact, last week, the median sale price for the week was $290,000. The week before that was $301,000. So anywhere in the upper $200,000 range is the median or middle sale price for a home in the Indianapolis area. Now, $300,000 is a lot of money, and a lot of people who are struggling to find a way to buy a house could not even fathom spending $300,000 on a house. So they just continue to rent or stay with family or whatever it is that works for them. So what I wanted to do was focus and find some houses that are less than that, something that might be more affordable. And affordability for everybody is different. It's a matter of your income, your expenses, your credit score, a number of factors work their way into deciding whether or not something is affordable to a particular person. That being said, I got to come up with a number somewhere. So I zoned in on homes that are $200,000. Now, $200,000 is a really good target for, say, a first-time home buyer, somebody who is on the maybe lower end of the pay scale, but still able to afford a home because they're in good financial situation, have some money saved up, who knows what. Regardless, $200,000 is what I focused in on. And in doing that search, I found 23 houses in Indianapolis and surrounding Indianapolis metro area that could work for people. As you look at my map here, it doesn't even show all of them, but here's Indianapolis in the center, and you'll notice that there are several of them, maybe even more than half of them, that are Indianapolis specific. Now, I have to say, on an opinion basis, feel some of the homes in that area are probably in some sketchy areas, what I would consider to be sketchy areas. Higher crime rate, homes aren't necessarily well taken care of, so you would look through them and find pictures of homes that need a lot of work. I always recommend to people, drive by, see if you can get a feel for what the area is like, do a deep dive into police blotters and arrest records, things like that about the area that you're looking at. Maybe even get out of the car and talk to some neighbors if you feel comfortable doing that, just to get an idea of what the area is really like and not just be judgmental, kind of like I am right now. But I digress. So I'm not going to focus on the city of Indianapolis specific areas, or at least not the inner city. I'm going to focus on some more outward areas. Here's the thing. If you're struggling to afford a house, but you can afford a house, you may need to change some of your criteria when it comes to your search. Perhaps having a long commute might be something that you have to endure to be able to get into home ownership. Maybe you have to move to a different school district. Okay, that can be good and bad, so definitely research that as well. But perhaps you're not going to be able to be in your ideal area. But if you want that home ownership, sometimes you got to be a bit flexible. So let's get into it. I've taken 4 homes out of this list of 23 that I want to focus on. Here we go. Now, where I said at the beginning that I wasn't going to focus on Indianapolis houses, well, the first one's kind of a lie because it is Indianapolis, but it's not within the inner city of Indianapolis. As you can see, this is the lower end of the 465 circle, and the home I'm talking about is down here on the south side. It is a home that's in the Perry Township School District. Now, my kids went through Perry Township schools. I have a high opinion of that particular school district, and so I know the kids are going to get a good education in that area. I also am familiar with where this house is located, and so I know it's in a decent area as well. But let's take a look at this 2-bedroom, 1-bath house, 933 square feet, built in 2002. Now, as we get into it, you'll notice it would appear that these pictures were probably taken on somebody's cell phone. And I got to say, as a realtor, I highly recommend getting professional pictures done. because the first thing that people see when they look at a house is the photos. And if the photos are not particularly attractive, well, then people probably aren't going to want to come and look at the house. And so started to throw shade at this particular realtor, but I think the photos might be contributing to why this home has not sold yet. There are probably other factors as well, but I would start with photos. So as you come into this 2002 built home, you'll notice they've already made several upgrades in the last 20 years. You'll see new light fixtures with the ceiling fan. You can tell that the flooring is new. It's a bit dark, which adds, there's no lights on in the house here, so it kind of adds to the lower quality imaging of the homes. But either way, as you can see, when they turn on the lights, it actually makes things look a little bit brighter and better. Living room, decent. As you come into the kitchen, looks like there's an island here. And you can see decent, not a great amount of counter space in this particular house, but for $200,000, you can't have everything. Island right there, looks like it is secured to the floor. Then you have your one bathroom with a cute shower curtain. All in all, the photos of this house look to be pretty decent. Now, photos can be deceiving. I always recommend people go check out the house in person to get a feel for what the house is really like once you're in it. But photos-wise, the home appears to be in good condition. And then you get to the backyard. Now, I will say the backyard's a bit small. It's got kind of a rackety fence around it that I don't even know, maybe was repaired at some point. But, if you were to take all of this fire pit area out, unless you like that, but if you take that out and throw in some grass seed, maybe you have a decent yard. And you can tell that the decking here is kind of new, still have the tags on the wood there. And so, it has that. So this home in and of itself isn't too bad. Now, I will say one big negative about this house, and maybe another reason why it hasn't sold yet, it's considered in a high flood zone, which means you're more than likely going to have to pay flood insurance with your home insurance people. Some people don't have that kind of extra money. Every insurance carrier has maybe a different amount for that. So I can't tell you for sure what that would cost, but it's just an extra expense. This home also is in an HOA, $316 for the year for that HOA. And so maybe another cost that someone doesn't necessarily want to have to absorb. But again, when you're talking about a home at $200,000, sometimes you have to make sacrifices in order to get into a house. And this one seems to be a pretty good option for someone in that situation. All right, the next house we're going to look at is out in Greenfield. Now, if you focus on the map here, you'll see the circle of Indianapolis. Greenfield is off to the east. Driving wise, it probably takes you about 35 to 40 minutes to get from Greenfield to Indianapolis. So close enough to be convenient, but also far enough to make it so you maybe don't want to go there every day, unless, of course, you have a job there. Greenfield is a nice town, kind of historic. The author James Whitcomb Riley is from there, and they do celebrate that with Riley Days and other things. But Greenfield is a nice, quaint city. I wouldn't call it a small town, probably more of a mid-sized town. Good school district out at Greenfield Central and surrounding community. And so Greenfield is certainly a great option for people. The house I want to look at, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, 950 square feet, built in 1956, but don't let that hold you back because they have made some updates. Now, as you can see from the front here, the nice stone brick exterior, very similar to what you might normally find in the 1950s. 1-car garage, also something you would find in the 1950s. It is a ranch. It is 2 bedrooms. Let's head inside. Now, this one, they got a lot of stuff. They got some big furniture. If you were to get some of these larger furniture pieces out of here, you'd have a very nice living room space that feeds right into the kitchen. Flooring has clearly been updated. Ceiling fan looks like it's okay. And again, photos can be deceiving. So, don't let that draw you in. Don't let that necessarily turn you away. Something you'd want to go see in person for sure. But just on the surface, looks to be in good condition here. As we head into the kitchen/laundry room, some people don't like the laundry room in the kitchen, but again, sometimes you got to make some sacrifices. Good looking kitchen. One of my favorite things, and this wouldn't likely stay with the house, is they turned a rolling tool chest into a usable piece of furniture for the kitchen. Probably into an island would be my guess. As we venture on through the house, again, I'm not an interior decorator. I got to say, this looks cute. The paint on the walls goes with a little girl's bedroom, nicely decorated. And of course, these things don't stay with the house, but it does draw someone in to want to maybe go take a look at it. But appears to be in good condition. Restroom, the one bathroom in the house, they've clearly updated this sink and vanity. New light fixtures, well done with the upgrades to the house to make it look more modern. And then is the second bedroom. Now I do like the windows on two different walls because you can get a nice cross breeze here when the weather is nice. Obviously not a huge bedroom. This is probably a queen size bed if I had to guess, and it clearly covers up one of the windows, takes up a lot of space in the middle of the room, but it's a small house and they made do with what they had, and there's still room for a dresser. So it is big enough for people to be able to live comfortably in. Now, to me, this is one of the drawbacks to the house. While there is no HOA, which is nice for some people, there's also no yard space here. And Greenfield being a tight-knit community, it's probably within walking or biking distance to get to a nearby park if you do have kids. But if you're looking for a home with a decent yard, this probably isn't going to be the one for you. And you can see this home, their backyard space comes right over here. You're right next to these people, and this driveway here goes to other homes or a little alley down the side. Not entirely sure, but either way, you don't have a lot of space with this particular property. And in the 1950s, that truly was not something that was all that unusual anyway. For the third house, we're going to head out to Crawfordsville. Now, this is northwest of Indianapolis. You can see Indianapolis here on the map. Crawfordsville is way out here. Driving wise, it's probably about an hour from Indianapolis to Crawfordsville. So something to keep in mind. But this home has possibilities at only $200,000. As you can see, this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, 1,900 square feet, okay, almost 2,000 square feet, built in 1859. Don't let that fool you, because upgrades have been made, but there is kind of an old school feel to this house. Let's take a look inside. Now, this kind of gives you the old Americana vibe, especially with the American flag outside, but your welcoming front porch where you're sitting there having some coffee, enjoying kids riding their bikes outside, who knows. Now, the draw for this house is that while listed as 3 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms are on the main floor. There's 1 bedroom upstairs with its own appliances because it could be, this is technically right now, a 2-unit apartment. One apartment that has 2 bedrooms, another apartment that has 1 bedroom, but there are appliances on the lower level and appliances on the upstairs level. So this could be an investment property for somebody. Or you can take some of that stuff out, make it into a single family home with 3 bedrooms. Either way, you've got flexibility here. It comes with a 2-car attached garage, super helpful. Now, as I look through this home, there is some old school furniture in this house, giving it sort of an old feel to it. But again, furniture doesn't necessarily stay with a place, and so don't let that deter you. But you can see there's a lot of space in this house. Plenty of space for the furniture to be stretched out. I love all the wood trim around the entryways and whatnot. Definitely a home built in the 1800s. That was pretty typical. This is not what I wanted to do. You can see that the flooring has been upgraded. There's plenty of windows, and so, opening the windows when the weather is nice, you probably get a great breeze through this house. This furniture right here, that definitely seems old school, 19th century, maybe early 1900s, who knows. But light fixtures, those probably could use to be upgraded if someone chose to do so. But again, old school feel. Then we get into the kitchen. Now, it's not an eat-in kitchen. There is a separate dining area, as we just saw in a previous picture, but they did throw a 2-top table in here. So if it's just a couple that lives in the house, that could certainly be usable. Huge countertop space here. Again, built in the 1800s, this is not that unusual. And so plenty of cabinets, plenty of counter space. And you can see that there's a gas stove and a very large fridge that was sort of jammed into this area. Wasn't made for that back in the 1800s. This is the main floor. This is one of the bedrooms. Again, windows on 2 walls, so you get lots of light coming in, lots of possible cross breeze, space for furniture. The second bedroom, a little bit smaller. They only have a single bed in here, but they do have some other pieces of furniture. My guess is probably not a lot of closet space in this particular house, kind of indicative of the 1800s style. There's the other bathroom. And then some storage that they have out here on the porch. Then we head upstairs. There's the laundry room. There's a laundry room on the main level too, I believe. And then this is the one bedroom that's upstairs, which that looks to be maybe a full-size bed. So you do have a lot of space here in this particular one bedroom room. And again, there are appliances that are separate just for the upstairs. Don't know why they don't have a picture of it, but they don't. So that is a great investment opportunity, or an opportunity for someone to take and have a 3-bedroom house for the low price of $200,000. Before I get into the fourth house, I want to say thanks for watching, and do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to leave me a comment. If you're looking for some real estate help in the Indianapolis area, my contact is down in the show notes. The last house to look at is located in Edinburgh, Indiana. Now this is Johnson County. It is south of Indianapolis. You can see the Indianapolis circle up here. The home is down in Edinburgh. Now that's probably going to take you anywhere from, 45 minutes to an hour to get out there. But this home has a lot to offer, especially, one of the things I hear a lot from people when they're looking for homes at any price point is they want space. They want to have distance between their house and their neighbor's house so that they don't feel like someone's living on top of them, and a place for them to kind of call their own. This home absolutely has that. Now, what I find deceiving is that as I look through this listing, it's listed as 0.23 acres, but there's 2 parcels here. So I don't know what the actual size of the space is, because you do get both parcels together when you buy this house. It is 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,700 square feet, and easily more than a quarter acre. I would guess probably closer to 1 full acre. Let's go take a look at it. Now, once again, I get kind of an Americana feel with this house. Front porch where you can sit out there, have some lemonade, some tea, maybe an adult beverage, wave into your neighbors as they're going by. Edinburgh is definitely a small town, so you're not going to have probably a ton of traffic that's riding by as you're enjoying your beverages outside on a nice summer day. Look at all the space that this place has. Super cool. Great front porch. Now, as we head inside, I don't know if that's new carpeting. I don't know if it's just vacuumed and maybe even washed, but either way, flooring looks pretty good. Now, they did throw some virtual pictures in here so that you have an idea of what it could look like with furniture. So you have options. Different view of the same living room. Now, this is another living space that I think they're using as a bedroom, obviously, but I don't see a big, now this could be a closet here with hangers sticking out. That's a maybe. But they do have a dresser. But either way, it's a large room for multi-purpose uses, I suppose. This one they're going to call a dining room, because who wouldn't want to dine in a room with carpeting? Always a great idea, right? But space for dining. And then this is more of kind of an eat-in porch. And obviously they have that set up for a different eating area. This is one of my favorite features of the house, the kitchen. This is a huge kitchen with lots of cabinet space, huge countertop. I kind of like the purplish blue color that they painted the cabinets. Looks pretty cool. Updated appliances, really nice backsplash. I think they did a really good job with this kitchen. And then there's the half bathroom with laundry facilities. Super convenient. I can't tell if this used to be a garage that they converted into a living space or not, because I don't see where they would have had a garage door, but they could have renovated that. Got a air conditioning unit over there on the wall, so it wasn't originally ventilated, which again leads me to believe it probably was a garage at one point. Yeah, you can see the attic up there. But multi-purpose usage here. They would have it set up as a bedroom apparently. And then there's this large bathroom. Great glass shower, stand-up shower, really cool. Then there's the yard. Now, what you see back here with this little shack, yep, that's included with the sale. Plenty of yard space, lots of big trees for shade. And then there's this 1-bedroom cottage. Now, I will say the upstairs does not look to be in all that great a condition, and so that's maybe a little bit questionable. You can see there's a heating unit, there's an air conditioning unit, and maybe some ceiling damage. So this one might need a little bit of investigating. Also included with the sale is this maybe a 2-car garage / warehouse / storage facility. Multi-purpose options out here, plenty of space. And that's the home over there. So there's lots of yard space. with this $200,000 house. So you have options here. Look at that. Look at that. That is huge. Love it. There are ways to beat the low affordability market that we're kind of in right now. But sometimes it's going to take thinking outside the box. I really don't love that phrase, but said it anyways. It's going to take some flexibility in your search, maybe changing your criteria, maybe changing your location, looking at different options that you have. The opportunity to buy a home, start to build equity is what you're looking for, because if you're renting, if you're staying on your neighbor or your best friend's couch, that's not really helping you build any wealth. If you are looking to buy or sell a home, drop me a comment, shoot me a message through the connection that you can find down in the show notes. Thanks for watching.